Good morning. This is Andy Crowner.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing just fine, enjoying my cup of coffee.
Oh, good. How many cups would you say you have in a day?
I'm a 2-cup-a-day guy.
Really?
Yeah, I like one first thing in the morning and then one early afternoon.
Could I talk you into raising that to 3 over time? Because apparently that's where you max out the benefit.
I've read that, but, I have an answer on why those older folks switch over to decaf eventually, and it's not the heart, it is their urologist.
Really?
Yeah, I would bet you they're telling you to get off the caffeine.
And what is that? How is that bad for the urology or whatever?
That's just what I've been told. That's going to be your urologist recommendation. So,
well, I'll be skipping
that's where it gets switched there. We need to promote the heart side of it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm also never going to hit from the yellow teas. Where do the old people hit?
I don't hit from any of the teas.
Right.
So.
Well, I'm not. I got my standard. In fact, the other day when I had my hair cut, the gal says, "You're not a senior, are you?" I mean, this gal's been cutting my hair for quite a while. And I, of course, was insulted immediately. And she said, I didn't mean to insult you. I just thought you'd want a few bucks off, And I'm like, no, I don't want a few bucks off. What I want is my youth. So we'll just leave it at that.
At least you still have the head of hair that needs cut, so you're doing all right.
Yeah, there's that. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Andy Crowner from the city of West Burlington City Council and RE/MAX Realty, switching hats effortlessly through the course of any given day. And doing all kinds of other stuff. Coach Andy Crowner, right? All of this stuff.
Yeah, still coaching some basketball and undefeated so far in our season here in 5th grade ball, and got a big game against Minneapolis this week.
Wow, how about that? So no meeting tonight, right?
Correct. We had a meeting and a work session last week, meeting next week, so we're right between them.
And you were on the budget beat for all these weeks now, so where are we at on that deal?
Yeah, we've been meeting every Wednesday night here on the budget. We're looking at targeting $9.65 a thousand, which is 35 cents down from where we've been actually for quite a few years. Of course, the big reason for that is moving DESCOM over to the county, so that's coming off of our budget. So a little decrease on our side. You'll probably see the county go up a little bit to cover that, but I'm glad we actually decreased it to match that.
I don't know that the county will go up from what I'm paying attention to, but we'll see. It's only right that you are coming down, but I can also say, with the knowledge that most people pay zero attention to the inner workings of any of this, you could have easily not done it, and so kudos to you for doing it.
Yeah, I'm glad we arrived at that, and we really targeted that decrease right off the bat when we started talking on the budget. So. Good job, the rest of the council and city manager and mayor, and so we got that done, which is good.
So I know that the cash flow and capital projects were a big discussion from last week's show with you. So where are we at on that deal?
Yeah, I've really been kind of on that all year, trying to get that changed. We talked about it a little bit last year during budget time, and it was tough to kind of change right in the middle there last year. So we did cash flow almost everything in this budget. So really proud of what we've done. We're cash flowing vehicles going forward. Fire truck, which was a big purchase we were looking at. We're actually going to be able to cash flow that.
Wow.
And not take out a loan. Police vehicles. Our big fight was kind of getting down to city works and getting some of their vehicles cash flowed. It wasn't in our original budget. We did get that done. So big step, I think, for West Burlington and doing that. We've got a couple projects that didn't, but last second like that, and you've got a $3 to $5 million project, yeah, that's going to be tough to just throw in a budget. So right. It's good that we've taken this step, though, and got quite a bit done.
Do you know the ins and outs of this fire truck deal or not? I mean, are we getting rid of one and getting a new one, or are we getting an additional one, or what's that?
No, it's one that is old and actually breaks down quite a bit on us, and it's one of our major engines. So we've been looking to replace that for quite a while, and last year we set aside some money for it, and this year we might actually get it done, get it ordered, and then it takes about a year to actually get it in. So it's going to be a little bit till we actually have it, but the money's in here.
Can I have the old one to convert to an RV?
I would gladly sell it to you.
Question from the chat room. Does West Burlington control the light at the truck stop?
light at the truck stop all the way out there. You're talking all the way west on Mount Pleasant? I don't.
Yeah, the one that's been broken over by where Flex Sales used to be, and UPS and not Air Gas. The other one, I don't know the name of it.
I will ask our City Works guys. They do a great job. You know, if they see a light out, they're changing it before I can even mention something to them. So they do a really good job, but I'll say something to them.
I'm pretty sure it was an accident, and it was months ago, and now it's turned into a stop sign out there. I think that's what he's talking about, not the one actually at the truck stop, 406 and 34, right? Q, clarify for me. It left turn always comes on even when nobody is waiting. Oh. I see. He is talking about the one at the truck stop. Not the one I'm talking about. Okay. Left turn comes on when nobody is waiting, so it doesn't have sensors, or not sensors that work, apparently.
That'd be a good business somebody wants to get into. I don't think there's very many people that work on stoplights. I think we got to bring somebody in from way out of town to get those kind of things done.
Yeah, listen, once Dick Palmer goes, we're toast. I don't know anybody who is going to do anything.
Yeah, I think, and he's retired, right? The only other person we got is to bring a company down from Minnesota. I think that's the closest one.
And, you don't have to get Dick off a vacation. He's earned a number of well-earned vacations. Anyway, finished sidewalks on the north end of Melville connecting to Houston. Which one is Melville?
So Melville's kind of the back side of the school. It's between the school and the mall, the one road through there. So we get a lot of traffic, a lot of walking and bike traffic through there. So this budget does have a couple nice improvements for the city on it, and that's one of them. The very end of those on the north side has two houses on either side of the street that is not connected up to Houston. So you got to go into the street to actually get to Houston. So this is going to connect that up. Should be a nice little addition. We're also looking at putting new bathrooms in Klein Park. A lot of people know that as Lewis Park, one of the main parks here in town. Should be some nice new bathrooms coming in. They're going to be under lock and key, available if you're renting one of the gazebos out there. So it should be a nice addition to the park. A couple other things we got in. We are looking at actually getting alleys done starting this year. We put some money away for it last year and kind of held off because of COVID. But now we've got two sections of it, so we'll get about 2/3 of the town done this year on alleys.
What does that mean, alley improvement plan?
We talked about a million different ways to do it, but in the end, we haven't been touching alleys for a long time. There hasn't been any money in the budget, and so we've just been going in and patching them. And so now we're going to actually go in and kind of relay them 1/3 every year, except this first time we're going to do 2/3 of the town. So we're actually going to upkeep the alleys that we have in there, which is going to be really nice.
So the alleys and then additional police officer, there was some discussion about that?
Yeah, we're adding one more police officer. It's actually somebody that's been with the force for a while, and they're coming back from military service, so they'll be back here. So we'll be up one staff member. I believe that's going to allow us to have somebody on the drug task force this year, which will be nice to contribute and be a part of that and have somebody involved. And then we've also got a couple small street projects that we put in this budget. One over there by Lewis Park that we talked about before, and one or two other corners and kind of alley intersections that really need some work. We got those in this budget too. So some good things for the town.
So all of this stuff to me sounds like money, and the tax is going down. So we must have cut stuff that you're hiding from me here that you don't want to talk about.
This is my second year on this budget on the city, and I always come with kind of, here's my list of things on this budget I'd really like to cut, or I think we could cut so we could cash flow some other things. And it just doesn't get done. And councilperson Kathy Christie came with an item she wanted to maybe remove, and nobody else really did. And so I'd love to get some more opinions of things that we could cut or move around or shift funds on and do some other things or other improvements that we want to make. And we're just really not doing that right now. And I hope we can improve on that and really come to the table with some more items. But right now, as a council, we're really just kind of rubber stamping what city manager and department heads come to us. And I'm not a big fan of that, but that's kind of what we're doing.
Right. Interesting. So let's see, what else? There were some IT purchases we were talking about last time and some engineering bills to be paid, that kind of thing.
Yeah, our last meeting, we had a bunch of small items, a few new IT items, some software. We bought a couple police shotguns and the ammo for those, and engineering payments for projects we've talked about, Mount Pleasant Street and the water tower and lift station and those kind of things. So got that done. We also approved the asbestos inspection for the water plant, the old one, which is right outside your window there. Mm-hmm. Before we start tearing into that, we're going to have it inspected. We also approved the second reading of that agency speed change after 35 miles an hour. So we've got one more reading on that. It should be next week, and then that will go into effect. And then finally, that no parking zone we talked about on Ramsey, right outside the school office by the elementary. We did approve the first reading of that, so that I have two more readings. Right.
And then I'm curious because I've seen them out with the little... Oh, it's not a bobcat, but the little skid steer or whatever those things are, removing snow and whatnot through the neighborhoods here in West Burlington. It's been tough to keep up with this year. But it's helpful for people not to have their cars on the road during that, right?
Yeah, I wanted to mention a couple things on snow removal. Number one, if we get a bunch of snow, please try to get your car off the street so we can actually get through there and get it plowed. That's for you. We're trying to get that done. Our City Works guys are out working pretty hard on that. So if you can, move your car into your garage or your alley parking if you have it. If not, something else you can do is we actually open up parking at the parks. I know you maybe have to walk 2 or 3 blocks to get back to your house, but if you can do that after a snow, let us clean it off and then move your car back. Hey, your road outside your house will be a lot nicer if you do it.
Yeah. Once that snow settles in and you drive on it a bunch of times, like along the curb there, and it starts to stack up there, it takes till spring to get rid of that all the way. I mean, it's much better if you let them get a clean scrape all the way out.
For sure. And something we're reminding people, too, is we do have a city ordinance that we ask that you clear your sidewalks of snow within 24 hours after it's snowing. And that is an ordinance, and I know it hasn't been extremely heavily enforced, but we're hoping people will continue to do that, and it really is a safety thing for everybody that still walks in town and all the kids walking to school, and it protects you as well. If somebody has a slip or a fall there, they could sue you for you not having your walk cleared. So please take just a minute and run out there with a shovel real fast after a snow. And I know it's a pain when we get snow every other day or so right now, but that's just part of being a good West Burlington citizen. And if you have trouble doing that, we actually have that program through the city that Neighbors Helping Neighbors, or if you need help, you're elderly or disabled, we have people willing to help clear your walk, so you can go on the website and sign up for that.
This is Andy Crowner from the city of West Burlington. Can we talk about real estate for a minute before you go?
Absolutely, yeah. This is a big real estate day. Today would normally be our Capitol Conference where they would bus all of us up to the Iowa State Capitol there, and we would meet with legislators. But today we're actually doing that online.
Oh, virtual. Everything's virtual.
Everything.
Do we have, just back to the city for 1 second, do we have the necessary equipment at the city to do these virtual things?
Yeah, Brad Newberry, our IT person, we post everything online now, all of our meetings and everything. We've got a great setup there in City Hall, so we could do about anything right there.
Cool. All right. I mean, you expect businesses to have them. I just don't know. This is the modern day now with the COVID. Probably not going away. The COVID will go away, but something else will begin to take its place. So, Pat Grassley, you get to meet him yet?
Yeah, we're meeting today with Speaker of the House, Pat Grassley, the Senate Majority Leader, Jack Whitver, and a couple other congressmen, and then two of our U.S. House reps out in D.C., Randy Feenstra and Ashley Henson. So we're meeting with all of them today, which will be nice. And we talk about items in real estate law and regulations that we like or don't like as realtors, and things to help protect our buyers and sellers and save them money. And so that's a big arm of the Iowa Association of Realtors. They are a large lobbying body for you homeowners.
Right.
all of us realtors give to that. And, they have a full-time lobbyist and a advocacy officer up in Des Moines. And
so explain to us how they advocate on not just on your behalf, but on our behalf as homeowners.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, they do advocate for us as realtors, but a lot of things they're doing too are to affect housing here in our state. So a couple things we're working on right now is, affordable housing and workforce housing issues here in Iowa, something the governor's talked about and proposed here recently, so to increase affordable housing in our state. So that's something we'll be up there lobbying for and how to do it. Talking about eliminating the cap on the state housing trust fund to allow more of the real estate transfer tax to go towards housing. So again, just little things maybe you don't do every day, but these are programs that some people take advantage of, and we're trying to lobby to help them. Reduce residential housing costs, building costs, by reviewing legislative mandates on new construction. It's just been a big one here. Recently, new construction costs are up really, really high here in Iowa right now. So anything we can do on the legislative side to bring that cost down.
Like what would they be legislating on new construction? What are kinds of things they're talking about?
You know how it is, but a big one is anything to do with DNR right now. Has a lot of cost.
Right.
But, the state has a lot of other things, and I'm not saying they're all bad, but there are a lot of costs, especially on the DNR side. And I know as well, I've been hit with a $10,000 bill selling a house one time when I had a septic tank. So that's mandated by the state now. That's something that the Iowa Association of Realtors that they're lobbying against was those new laws on septic tanks. And that was one they didn't get done, but that's one that we're up there fighting for and still trying to get changed today. So they are up there doing some good work for you guys as well as us, and it is an important part of the process and making sure our legislators have an idea of, the professionals here in housing, what they would like to see.
Do they get involved in the regulations for HOAs?
That's more of a federal thing, but there is a National Association of Realtors as well that would be up in D.C. lobbying for those kind of things. And doesn't mean you can always get everything done, but at least we do have a voice up there.
Because sometimes these homeowner association fees, you start with a fee at the new construction phase, or even if you're buying something used, it starts out as a reasonable thing, and then over time it seems to a lot of times just go out of control. And I always wondered why the regulation for the size of the jumps on a year-to-year period wouldn't at least attempt to smooth that out some, or I don't know.
Yeah, and if you're talking about an individual HOA, so that's going to be set up, right there in your town, in that small little area. And you're right. Sometimes they jump. I've had some experience with those with some family members, and a lot of those, the issue is they don't allow for all the construction costs that need to happen, whether it's roofs or some road improvements, those kind of things. So once a bill hits on one of those, then it spikes way up to pay for it. So it is a good idea. Some HOAs in town, I think they make the area look nice. They make the houses a little more uniform. But, yeah, some of them cross some lines, I think.
Yeah. All right, got about a minute left. Give me the big sell on why RE/MAX. There's a number of realtors around. I know RE/MAX has had tremendous success in a relative, any way you can measure it, sense against other ones. But why is that?
I think RE/MAX has this blend right now of some of the very, very best local realtors that have been in the game for 35-plus years, and a lot of up-and-comers that have been here for 2, 3, 4 years. And it's such a nice blend of, new technology-based and old-school hand combat selling. So there's kind of everything all in one office, which is really nice, and everybody gets to learn from one another. And I think that's really helped kind of improve the sales of the entire company because you have such a great mix.
Sounds good. AndyCrowner.com. AndyCrowner.com or Facebook. Search Andy Crowner. RE/MAX, of course, here in West Burlington. I appreciate the time today, Andy. Be safe out there.
You too. Stay warm.
All right, take care. Yeah, good luck.